Test, mic check, 1, 2, test, test. Sound is running, test, test. Okay. Mic check, test, test. Okay, there are 4 people already here. I'm trying out this new software OBS, so I'm having some, not technical difficulties, but I need to double check that everything is running. I hope you can hear and see the video. Let me check on another browser. Just want to be 100% sure that everything is running. Just want to be 100%. Okay, so that's okay apparently. Okay, going back. And main camera. Yeah, hello everyone. Yeah. So as you might have seen in the beginning of this live stream, I just wanted to check. I'm trying out OBS. I have the Blackmagic camera on as a webcam for this live stream. So I'm still trying to see that everything is working and everything is running. Can you hear me well? So Timo says, yes, looks good. So yeah, thank you very much for joining this live stream. And first and foremost, I want to use this live stream basically as a means to put out some new content. As you might have noticed, I haven't pushed out any videos in the last few weeks. So thank you very much for all of your patience that no videos have been on this channel as of late. We all know that there has been this lockdown, and during this lockdown I wasn't able to work that much and I had to go into all of my savings. So now that the lockdown has stopped, I actually got a bunch of new client work. So I was able to earn some money and pay rent again, which is basically the reason why I haven't been able to edit or film any new videos for this YouTube channel, unfortunately. So yeah, again, thank you so much for being so patient that there haven't been any new videos out lately. So yeah, as mentioned, this is basically a means of pushing out some, at least a little bit of content while I'm still at work, while I'm still working. Actually, I'm working today and I just managed to have some free time to make this little new video, or not a video, I completely messed up, this live stream, not a video. So yeah, I'm at home. As you can see, this is my new office, and yeah, basically all my client work is at the moment being done from here, from home. And I probably will do a little bit of a desk tour at some point to show you what my whole new setup is looking like at the moment. And yeah, as mentioned, this live stream is a means of having some more content out for you while you are waiting for new videos. So as an update, what's being reviewed at the moment? I have the, I'm not that prepared. I wanted to show you the bag actually. I have the Bellroy Apex. I have the Opposed this, what's the name? It's an everyday carry bag from Opposed this. I have a motorcycle backpack from Angry Lane. I'm looking over there because there's my whiteboard where I scribble down everything. I have two bags from Ground Truth, a sling bag from Chrome Industries. I actually want to do a completely roundup of a lot of new sling bags because I have the one from Modern Day Fera, from Belroy I have a sling, as mentioned the one from Chrome, and I'm also waiting for the sling from Black Amber, which looks very interesting. And yeah, I want to do a roundup of all of those new sling bags. But yeah, as soon as all of my client work is done and I can go back or have some more free time to record a couple of more YouTube videos, I will push out a new review. Or maybe I can think about making these reviews as a live stream. So yeah, these live streams for me are pretty easy to do because especially with this Blackmagic camera where I can, as you can tell, I can include my grading my video look into that video and I don't have to edit all those videos. Maybe I will do a couple of short, impromptu, spontaneous reviews via live stream. Maybe that's something that would interest you as well. Just for me, for it being a little bit easier to push out content. Those are the bags that are still waiting to be reviewed and hopefully will be reviewed pretty soon. But still, it's still the time where I'm working from home, so actually I haven't been able to use that many bags as of late. I have been to Berlin for a business trip, which was kind of strange to be in a big city after the lockdown and being at home and then having to pack again a bag and going on a business trip. That was pretty strange. But still, it was pretty cool to be able to pack again. And yeah, as mentioned, I haven't been using that many bags lately. So going back to to reviewing bags will be pretty cool. And yeah, the Belroy Apex, that's the first bag that I will review as soon as possible. And what else? Oh, I got a new wallet from Ender, the Pilot, which is also very interesting because, you know, I like the secret wallet and the extra wallet that have this little mechanism to push out your cards, and the Ender Pilot has a rolling, not a button, but you basically have a little roller to push out the cards inside the wallet. That's pretty interesting. I ordered, let me just show you, my Swiss Army knife Super Tinker actually chipped a little bit, and yeah, I ordered some new scales for this Victorinox Super Tinker, which should have arrived today. Maybe it's still 4 p.m, so maybe they will arrive in the next few hours, and then I will have some titanium scales on the Super Tinker, and that's probably something that I will film to show you how I put this on. This is actually my very first project to customize these little knives. And yeah, those are basically the topics that I want to film and want to make in the future. And I was actually considering to try something new with all of these videos. For those of you who might have followed me on Instagram and have seen my latest video, I'm currently testing this new camera. This is basically a cinema camera. Before I was filming on this Sony A60-300, which is fairly compact, but the camera that I'm shooting on now is a cinema camera, so that's a pretty big camera. And that basically sparked the idea of which camera will I use in the future. Do I want to keep using this small little Sony camera, which I'm not really happy with the image quality now that I have been filming on the cinema camera, but it is very compact and therefore much easier to travel with than with a bigger camera. So I'm kind of thinking about, okay, where I want to take the channel or the production quality of this channel in the future. And yesterday, DJI, or 2 days ago, DJI released the new Osmo Pocket 2, which is a small little camera. So my idea is to potentially sell this camera, keep the Blackmagic for studio work, and get the Osmo camera for outside work. And because it is so small, I was always interested in the idea of vlogging, not specifically to showcase my life, because I'm still under the impression that my life is fairly mundane, and everything that is interesting, be it my work as a film editor, is all confidential because of NDAs, non-disclosure agreements. So every work that I'm doing at a client, when I'm editing, so all the interesting parts that potentially might interest you, I'm not allowed to film, so I can't vlog. But I find the idea, the way vlogs, to me as a filmmaker, vlogging is probably the most difficult way to tell a story. Because in my humble opinion, 90% of vlogs that you can find on YouTube are fairly boring, as long as you're not on the beach or have like sports cars and stuff like that. And they are, yeah, they are not very interesting. That is why I think vlogging, or the way to tell a story by the means of a vlog, is very intriguing because it is so difficult. So I'm thinking about like trying to make a bag review, but do it in the style of a vlog, and a small camera would help me with that. And this is still fairly big for vlogging because I'm pretty shy to film outside. In Germany, it's not common to walk outside and have this vloggy appearance outside. I assume in LA or New York, many people are used to it, but in Germany, it's not that common still. So I feel very subconscious, even with this compact camera, to go outside and vlog. So having a smaller camera like the new DJI Osmo would maybe help me to get over that a little bit, and therefore produce reviews in this vlog style kind of way. So that's what's currently in my mind, where I potentially could see myself taking these videos in the future. But I haven't really decided yet. So those are all the plans, those are all the items that I want to film, review in the future. So yeah, with that out of the way, let's go into the Q&A. And I already asked you on Instagram and here on this channel to post a couple of questions in advance that I can answer while people are tuning into this live stream. And yeah, hello everyone who has been joining this live stream. And yeah, I will let you post a couple of questions in the live chat while I answer the questions on YouTube and on Instagram first. So let me just check the questions on Instagram. I made a screenshot about that. So what are your top tips for people who now have to work from home? That is a very good question because, as mentioned, I have to work from home at the moment. And probably the most important tip that I can give you as a freelancer who has been a freelancer for almost 12 years now, is to treat every day, even if you don't have to go to the office, treat it as if you have to go to the office. Because if you wake up and you go to your desk and you're still in your pajamas and maybe haven't showered yet, it's really difficult to get into the work mode. So even if I'm at home and even if I have to work from home, I treat it as if I have to go to office. So I wake up at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, I get a coffee, take a shower, maybe even put on a dress shirt or whatever, and yeah, have breakfast and start the day by 9 a.m. or 10 p.m. or whatever, and sit down on the desk, maybe scribble down my to-dos and stuff like that. But yeah, just having this routine of going about the day as if you meet a couple of clients, take a shower, shave, put on some nice clothing or work attire, helps a lot to get your mindset into this working mindset. So that's probably the best tip for everyone who starts to work from home, in my humble opinion. And yeah, also have this little to-do list. I always have a little notepad on my desk, and I scribble down any types of to-dos and notes that I might have to do in the next few hours or even in this week. And then I just have this tick boxes and tick off all the to-dos that I have to do. Even if it's just a small thing like answering an email with yes or no, that goes on the list, because it's also a very fulfilling feeling to just tick off those little check boxes. And yeah, that's basically, for me, the best tip that I can give anyone who just starts to work from home. So the next question is, favorite / most used EDC bag over the last couple of years. As a backpack reviewer or a bag reviewer in general, I usually switch bags in every second week or so. Now during these times of lockdown, I haven't been able to switch bags that often. That being said, I think the most used bag overall is probably the first bag, or the bag that started this channel, which is the Gorak GR0. But so, because that's basically the oldest bag in my collection. But at the moment, the bag that I always gravitate back to is the Black Amber Forge. That bag definitely goes in my top 5 of this year's bags. But overall, it's pretty difficult. I think there are a couple of cool bags. Maybe take a look at my favorite bags video. It's fairly old. I think it's 3 years old. But yeah, it has a couple of cool bags still. And what else? The Mission Workshop Rake is also an awesome bag. But those are just 2 bags right off the top of my head. Because first world problem, right? That I have to switch bags like every second week. All right, the next question. Have you considered doing a bike run with 5 to 8 bags or items? Something like the new Krieger bag. So I assume this question is in regards to me riding a motorcycle, and I really want to do a bigger motorcycle trip, but it just started to become very cold and slippery outside. I will still continue riding, but I won't do a big trip. But next year I will definitely go on a motorcycle trip, and then I will try to figure out how to load the motorcycle with a couple of bags. Next question. What is the most essential things that you must bring for your daily carry? I would say, or no, I would have to admit that I'm fairly addicted to my phone. So one of the most essential things is my phone. It's just a means of communication, keeping you entertained and taking quick pictures. Then definitely having a multi-tool. since I just removed the scales and I'm waiting for the new scales, I just started carrying the James brand. Is it the Elco? Oh, I forgot the name. It's the one with the knife and the bottle opener. But I realized that while this is an awesome EDC knife, just having a blade and a bottle opener sometimes isn't enough. Because having a blade like this to maybe cut some loose strings on your sweater, or my wife just bought some socks and I had to cut those little strings that are attached that keep the socks together with this label, and I noticed that cutting those little strings with a big knife is fairly difficult without like cutting the socks. So I was really missing a pair of scissors. So I prefer having a Swiss Army knife over just a knife. And during these times, definitely, oh, where is it? Oh no, did I lose it? Where is it? Pen. Even though we don't carry cash here in Germany at the moment due to this pandemic, sometimes those ATM card machines to pay usually require a PIN, but sometimes you need to sign stuff, which to me is strange during these times, because A, you don't want to touch anything, and B, I don't feel like signing stuff is very secure. But for those reasons, I have the Fisher Space Pen. Definitely something that you should have in your pockets. What is the one EDC thing you cannot live without? So that basically goes hand to hand with the question before, and I would say my phone. This is the OnePlus 7 Pro. OnePlus has just released a new phone, but I'm happy that that phone isn't that big of a major update, so I will keep this phone at least for another year. Did Peak Design contact you to do a video on the motorcycle phone mount? I have been made aware of the new phone mount, but not directly by Peak Design, but by Carryology. Unfortunately, those mounts, as far as I know, are only available for iPhones or Samsung phones at the moment. I think they have a universal mount, but I'm not 100% sure. So that is why I haven't been able to test. Excuse me. I'm not used to talking that much anymore. So yeah, that's why I haven't been able to test those new Peak Design phone mounts yet. Next question is, what's your favorite bag of all time? Yeah, I mentioned that in the question before. Yeah, I think I already answered that. Next question. What trends and new bags would you like to see disappear? That's a good question. Fitlocks. I don't want them to disappear, but I feel like they have to be used a little bit more thoughtful, let's say it that way. There are, for instance, I think this is more important for my personal use case, because I like attachment points to be secure on specific things, and on other things I want some buckles to be more easily openable and usable. So for instance, sometimes they use fitlocks on sling bags, which for some people can be great because it is very easy to close and to open, but because it is so easy to open, it's also very dangerous if you are on a motorcycle or if you are running. So if you have seen my I have made a sling bag roundup video last year, and there was the alpaca gear sling bag, and that one had a very cool fit lock, magnetic fit lock clothing. And it was actually pretty easy to just go like this and open the fit lock by accident. And then if you're on a motorcycle, then you would basically lose the whole sling bag on the road. And obviously you don't want that to happen. So I feel like on sling bags, I would prefer something. There are those fit locks that you have to, like on the Boundary Supply Primer. There is this fit lock that has a little bit more of a clasp style where you have to pull a little string and then it would open up instead of like, yeah, sliding it open. And the next thing where I don't like fit locks is also on the Boundary Supply, but on the Aran, there is the laptop compartment. And on the laptop compartment, there is a fit lock that holds the how you call it? This flap that holds the laptop compartment together. There is this fit lock. And on one hand, it was very slippery to open up that magnetic fit lock, but on the other hand, it would always close by itself. So basically, you open it up and then you want to open the flap, and if you by some incident the flap would just close again before you get the laptop out, then the magnet would close the fit lock again, and then you have to open it up once again. So that was a little bit annoying. Magnets are awesome and I love fit locks, but sometimes they need to be placed a little bit more thoughtful, in my humble opinion. But I love fit locks, they are awesome, especially those which I mentioned that have this little clasp mechanism. Boundary Supply not Boundary, Black Amber uses them as well. And the modern day Farah sling has this magnetic fit lock as well. So next question. Would you make a review of Waterfield design bags? I haven't heard of those bags yet, but I can definitely Google them and then I will check it out. So next question. So those were the questions from Instagram. And now let me go to YouTube and check the questions over there. So, could you do a quick top 10 sling pack / chest pack / bum bag list during the Q&A? Your last list was 2 years ago. Yeah, it was quite a long time ago. Since the current climate is very conducive for slings, I thought it would be a good idea for an update. You're totally right. I am planning to do a roundup video about sling bags. But I'm still waiting on the Black Amber sling bag because I think that one is pretty cool. But yeah, let me do a quick roundup of a couple of sling bags that I have been using in the last few weeks. One of the most used sling bags that I love to use is the Chrome Notch MXD, I think it's called. That one is in the sling bag roundup video. That sling bag is built like a tank. I'm using that every single day because that's basically my dog walking sling bag. All of the zippers hold up extremely well, and I actually use that sling bag. I use the sling bag and I sling it to the front, and sometimes, because my smallest dog is already 16 years old, so she's already fairly old, sometimes she's exhausted. I pick her up and I put her on the sling bag itself, and then she basically sits on the sling bag while we're walking. So I can attest that that Chrome sling bag is built like a tank, and all of the compartments and slots are very useful. Then the next sling bag that I Haven't been able to use that much because it also has a Fitlock magnetic opening in the front and opens up a little bit too easily for my taste. Is the modern day Farah sling. That sling bag looks awesome. It's a really cool, well-made sling bag, and I feel like perfect for everyday carry items like phone, wallet, keys, maybe hand gel and stuff, face mask. Perfect size for that, perfect look, very well made. But for my use cases, it just opens up too easily. But I would still recommend this bag if you are just walking in the city and you want a small little sling bag for those essentials that you don't want to carry in your pants pockets. The Air Oshman collaboration sling bag, which is now available as I think it's called City Sling. That sling bag is very cool. Um, they the collaboration bag has this awesome orange interior, but the new one, the regular version, has basically the same features but not the orange interior as far as I know. That sling bag also awesome sling bag. If you want to have a little bit more of let's say classical and unisex look, then the Belroy sling bag is also very cool. They have, I think, also 5 colors, which is awesome. Yeah, those are the sling bags right off the top of my head that I have been able to take a look at or use within the last few weeks. Next question. It's in German, so I will translate it real quick. Have you heard about the new Able Carry Max? I have heard about it, but I have not seen it yet. That being said, I have tested a couple of Able Carry bags and I really like what they're doing. I like the attention to detail with their stitching. I like the materials, the design is very cool. The amount of features is maybe not the right amount, but it's the proper amount. Sometimes there are too many features and too many pockets, for instance, and that confuses sometimes me because I then forget where did I put maybe the charger or where did I put that. So having too many compartments sometimes is a little bit confusing. Having too few compartments is not that useful. So, and I feel like Able Carry hits a very good sweet spot. But still have a design that, for the lack of a better word, is very mainstream, and the pricing is also very mainstream considering the fabrics and the build quality that they have. It's a very good competitive price that the mainstream will or might consider easier, because for us it's easy to say, oh, that's a very good price for those fabrics, that build quality and those features. But regular people, I still get it so many times that people ask me, you paid 400 euros for that backpack, or you paid 200 euros for that backpack, why? And that still gives me the impression that the mainstream isn't or hasn't caught up yet, that bags are very intricate and very complicated and therefore are very expensive. And considering that the backpack will be used multiple years and is only a fraction more expensive than a sneaker that you potentially don't wear after a couple of months, I feel like, yeah, that people don't really know yet what they can achieve with a good backpack. So yeah, Able to Carry, very interesting. I'm looking forward to at least see a couple of pictures about that bag. So next question. What's your top 3 packs for daily use? Yeah, I think I answered that in a question before. It's a very common question and totally understandable, um, but I feel like yeah, it's about time that I make my favorite bags video 2.0 pretty soon. Um, so next question, how is it going with your EDC? I know you recently changed your wallet from secret wallet. Do you still prefer the secret wallet? Yes. Short answer is yes. I'm at the moment I switched to the extra Parliament wallet, which did I show it? No, that's just my last name, so it's not. So which is awesome. I like it, but it's a little bit taller than the secret wallet. The leather aged beautifully, in my humble opinion. I'm not. It doesn't pick up that great on camera, but I like this used look. I like it very much. So the idea was, I wanted to change to this wallet for a couple of months from the secret wallet to see how this leather will age over time. What I don't like is the edges of this extra Parliament wallet. I'm not sure what they did here, but it's I'm not sure if this is an extra layer of material, but it kind of frays off here at the top. I'm not sure. Probably not going to see that, which is kind of strange. And on the secret wallet, basically all of these edges on the, how you call this, on the border of the leather are basically open. So there's nothing that could, yeah, fray apart or anything. The mechanism of the extra is actually a little bit better. It feels better than on the secret, but then again, the downside is that the wallet overall is about this taller. So I would say about a centimeter taller. And I don't really like the money band. So yeah, I would still prefer the secret over the extra, but I think this, if you want to go with the extra, I would still say go for it, because this is pretty cool, a cool wallet. So the next question. How are things in your country pandemic-wise? How has it affected the things you carry? Did you make any adjustments to stay safer? I feel like Germany has a pretty good grip on dealing with the pandemic. There are still a couple of people who are a little bit careless in terms of keeping your distance, in terms of putting on your mask. But overall, I feel like most people are on the same page. We have a couple of people that actually are, how you call it, are denying the pandemic in a way, or denying the virus. But I don't want to go into that too much. But overall, I feel like the majority of people in Germany are fairly responsible and keeping distances and staying at home. And as mentioned in the beginning of this live stream, during the lockdown, for freelancers like me, it was a little bit harder because basically the whole film industry had to stop, because no one was allowed to shoot any films in bigger film crew teams. Therefore, everything in my industry stopped. And yeah, I haven't been really working during these months. And yeah, I'm very happy that after the lockdown and during the lockdown itself, many companies, many freelancers have actually perfected, or at least managed to create a workflow to, yeah, make everything after the lockdown with smaller crews, with remote work, a little bit more easier and therefore acceptable for the client. So for instance, I'm predominantly now editing from home. So the client sends over some hard drives, and then I'm just editing and doing these Zoom calls, the Skype calls, Teams calls. So long story short, although during the lockdown and with all that's coming from the pandemic, all the negatives, there are a lot of positives for me at least, that made me feel like, yeah, this year is a little bit messed up, let's say it that way. But yeah, we, at least here in Germany, I feel like we are moving along and we're trying to deal with it as good as possible. And in terms of staying safer and adjusting my everyday carry, yeah, face mask. I have a couple of face masks that I switch around regularly. And yeah, as mentioned in the EDC, I have the Fisher Space Pen with me all of the time. Yeah, but I try to stay at home, or at least keep my distance as good as possible. I try to be as responsible as possible and not do anything outside. Which also means I haven't been working out lately a lot. I haven't been to the dojo. I do ninjutsu and BJJ, for those of you who don't know, so martial arts, which is fairly close combat. And yeah, I want to be responsible, so I haven't been training for the last few months, and I have gained a little bit of a couple of kilos, 4 to be exact, which is a bummer. Might need to work out again. But other than that, I'm fine. And yeah, staying at home also means not a lot of testing of bags, but yeah, I try to test the bags outside, walking around in the woods or walking around in the house or in the garden to test out these bags as good as possible. So that was a little bit of a tangent to answer that question, but I hope I answered your question. Next question. It's not a question, but a comment. Packing system optimization. Best tip, probably pack modular. There's a very old video in my on my channel which still holds true. That is how to pack modular. Use packing cubes, use little compartments and stuff like that to keep everything packed, and yeah, switch bags more easily. So you just take one, like my extended EDC pouch, take that, put that in a different bag. That's probably the best way for packing system optimization. Did you have a background in sketching? Do you prefer a roll-up pencil case? So one of the things that I started during the lockdown is I wanted to learn how to sketch, and I post some of my progress on Instagram at the bow. And yeah, I think that's what this question is relating to. I started learning sketching a couple of months ago, and I haven't done that before. So I bought this book, How to Sketch and the Anatomy of the Body, and I follow a bunch of sketching Instagram accounts, and I try to copy those to basically learn, and it's a great hobby. So yeah, probably also one of the tips or the changes from the pandemic is start new hobbies. And for me it was sketching, and it's awesome. It's a lot of fun. It's pretty hard, but it's fun, and you start to see stuff. You probably notice lines on bags or on items, everyday items, which is really cool. Next question. I've got a bunch of questions. Maybe pick one you like. Okay, that's a bunch. So, are there any bag releases you look forward to in the late 2020 or early 2021? Anything you want to review when things ease up? Also, I'd be curious if there are any budget pouches that you can recommend. Not necessarily tech pouches, only, but rather to organize EDC and storage at home. I own the Zigzag and the Drake, and I'm a big fan of both. Also, the inside line equipment pouches are quite nice. I can recommend them. They have two sizes that you can attach to backpack straps via a Velcro. However, I think many people would be happy about a bit more budget-friendly options to possibly open up the backpack enthusiast community for a broader audience. On a personal level, when better things are coming, where would be the first place you want to travel to? Those weren't that many questions, only 3. So, bag releases you look forward to in late 2020 or early 2021. Honestly, I haven't been able to check out new bag news because I feel a little bit guilty that there are still so many bags waiting here in the bag there that I haven't been able to review yet. So I actually stopped accepting new bags, especially not all bags, but especially carry-on bags. And I tell brands, hey, I'm not going to be able to travel anytime soon, so it doesn't make sense for me to take your carry-on bag that I won't be able to properly review, and that wouldn't be fair to you as a brand, and it wouldn't really make sense for my viewers just to showcase a bag that I haven't even properly tested. So most of the carry-on bags I actually declined, and I haven't been looking at new bags because there's so many bags still waiting to be reviewed. So I have not checked out any other bags yet. Sorry, I was a little bit confused because there are a couple of spammy, racist comments on this live chat. Not sure why that is, but don't care. Pouches. I think with Drake and Zigzag you already have a couple of cool pouches, and it's fairly difficult to recommend pouches because after I have tested so many pouches, for instance, remote equipment, Peak Design Tech pouch, a new Moment Tech pouch, I noticed that the pouch itself is highly dependent on the items that you carry. For instance, this Logitech MX Master, as you can tell, this is a fairly thick mouse that is quite difficult to pack. And for me to find a pouch that actually fits this plus my MacBook Pro charger, which has the dock case around it that is makes the charger very big, makes it very difficult to find a pouch where those two items fit properly. So I feel like it's not easy to recommend pouches without actually knowing what you want to pack. And pouches like I look over there because it lays over there, the Peak Design Tech pouch. That's a huge pouch with lots of slots, and it's a very good pouch, very well made, but if you only carry like a charger and a couple of cables, then that would be an overkill. So recommending pouches is a very subjective matter, and that is a good thing because that makes pouches actually very interesting. So the next question, where do you want to travel when we are allowed to travel? And I feel like I was born and raised in Germany, but I'm a little bit homesick and I would love to go to Indonesia again, visit my dad and have some Indonesian food and stuff like that. That would be awesome. I would love to go to Indonesia the first thing when I can go travel again, but I think that will take some time. I mean, we can travel, but from my personal mindset, it's very difficult for me to board a plane or a train. Yeah, I think it will take some time until I personally will be traveling again. Please make more videos on the secret wallet. I think I already made a lot of videos about the secret wallet, but maybe you can go into that question a little bit further, what you want to see about the secret wallet. All right, so those were the questions on the comment, and let's answer a couple of questions from the chat. Can I show the chat here? No, I thought I can't show the chat. Maybe, let me see if I can copy that here. No, I'm sorry. As I'm trying out OBS and I thought I can show the chat window in here, but unfortunately I can't. So, all right, let's go over the questions in the chat. Desk tour, yes please. Yeah, I'm planning to do a desk tour. I actually got myself an iMac, the new iMac, because I'm working so much from home. So I definitely want to do a desk tour pretty soon. But damn, it's difficult to have proper cable management. I don't get how people can actually do cable management with cables either being too short, too long, there being a power brick yay big. How are you people managing to do cable management that well? I don't get it. But I will do a desk tour pretty soon. Favorite coffee brand? We bought, when we moved into this new home, we bought this, I know that's not very en vogue at the moment. Everyone is doing pour over coffee and stuff like that, but we have this full-fledged out coffee maker where you just push a button and it gives you coffee. And we use Lavazza coffee beans, and it's a coffee crema from Lavazza. If you live in Germany, it's the one with the red label. That's what I drink usually at home. What backpacks do you recommend for students? That's definitely also one of the most asked questions. And what I always say is, let me know what you want to pack, because I'm turning 40 next year, and it has been quite some time since I have been in school. So I have no idea what you usually have to pack for school. Back then we didn't have any lockers in school, so we had to carry all of our books, binders and stuff like that. What was my bag when I was in school? I think I had an East pack. Yeah, I had an East pack. So yeah, let me know what you want to pack. Feel free to comment or send me an email at youtube@ismono.com, and then I will try to give you a couple of recommendations on what you potentially could take a look at, because obviously as a student your budget is also very limited. So yeah, we need to take a look at what you want to pack, what your budget is, and then I can give you a proper recommendation on a backpack. How did you learn / get into video editing? Actually, just learning by doing. I started an internship at a film production company, and yeah, I just started looking what not my boss, but the head of the department that I was in is doing, and started to film stuff, because there was the camera and I just picked it up and I started filming. And nowadays it's obviously different because it's way easier to just pick up your phone. This camera is much better than the €1,000 camera that I had at the film production company. We had mini DVs, Betacam SP, stuff like that. So probably most of you don't even know what that is. But yeah, I would say, as an advice for future or aspiring filmmakers take your phone, film stuff, and then try to edit it. And as a good help to edit stuff is try to limit the length of the video that you want to make. Because as soon as you limit yourself, like let's say you want to make a travel video about your last vacation. If you don't limit yourself, you start to put in all of the stuff that you have done on that vacation. But if you limit yourself to, let's say, 60 seconds, then you start to really think about which shots, which stories you want to tell in those 60 seconds. And that's what's editing all about. Kill your darlings and edit out all of the stuff that aren't interesting. Learning the software is actually pretty easy. It takes some effort, obviously, but the more difficult thing is to actually develop a story. And once you limit yourself a little bit in the time frame, you start to really think about what you want to do, what you want to shoot the next time. And that's basically how you can start learn how to edit. For me, back then, when I didn't have that much access to cameras, because there was only the camera in the film production where I was interning at, another editor back then told me, hey, you have access to all of the footage here. Just take that and make your own commercial out of it and try to practice that way. And what you could do basically now is take stuff from the internet and try to make a trailer, for instance, and edit that. Obviously, don't breach any copyright laws, so don't cut anything and then release it and make it as your own work. But just to learn and just to practice editing, I think that is a very good practice skill or something, that a good task that you could do to practice editing. Hey Bo, long time no chat. Love how well your channel is doing. I would love to know your thoughts on receiving a product that you don't like at all, but you are expected to review. Good question. I actually, whenever a company contacts me and asks me if I want to review an item, first and foremost, I check out what that item is. And if that item actually interests me, I actually have, what's the English word? A terms and condition that I send over to that brand that says, A, I only make unbiased reviews. I don't want to receive any money, and I will tell everything that I want to say about that product, and the brand doesn't have any right to either see the video in advance or change the video after the fact. Plus, I tell them, please be aware of how I review items. I always look for negatives because I personally feel that looking for the negatives and telling you, the viewers, about the negatives is easier for you to evaluate if you can live or work around these negatives and if that item is actually for you. Because I feel like all of the positives and product features are basically easily recognizable by looking at the website, the product page, or aren't that interesting. Because if you're interested in a product, you already know, oh, that's positive about that item and that's why I want it, but you don't know about the negative. So that's why I tell the brand, be aware, I will look for the negatives even if they are nitpicky. And yeah, that's basically what I tell them, and then only if they agree to that, I will take the product and start to review that. But it's very important that the review, that they know that it is an unbiased review that concentrates on the negatives, and that I don't take any money for preferred treatment or anything like that. And then it is very important that I feel like that is a product that interests me as well, or is not as easily to get by for you as a customer. For instance, if it's a brand like, let's say, North Face, where you know that you can just go to a store around the corner and check the bag out for yourself, then for me it doesn't make sense to review that bag, because you can check it out yourself. But if it's a bag that you can only get by internet order or as a Kickstarter, then I feel like it's interesting for you as a viewer, and then I decide to review that item. But usually if that item doesn't interest me, I basically decline the product. Or if they don't agree to my terms, or if it's, for instance, like I mentioned before, if it's a carry-on bag that I can't even test at the moment due to the pandemic, then I will decline those items. So yeah, I would say only review the items that interest you, because if they don't interest you, then probably the video won't be as good as you potentially could make it. How does your significant other feel about your interest in bags and the amounts of bags you have? I actually made a Patreon-only podcast with my wife about bags, which, yeah, you can find it on my Patreon if you would like to go over there. She was at first probably pretty amused by the fact that I have more bags than she does, but she does recognize now how interesting bags can be and how complicated bags are. And yeah, now that I have my own space, can you see over there? There is a small little room where all of the boxes with all of the bags are. So they are out of her view. She doesn't mind that much. Yeah, but I think for most people, bags or a bag collection like this are a little bit funny. That's probably the right word. When do you expect Peak Design Travel Backpack V2? I unfortunately don't have it on its way here yet. And I don't think I will get it, because as mentioned, all of those carry-on or travel bags I can't review properly. I could do a quick look, but I still have so many bags waiting to be reviewed, so I'm not sure if I would actually want to get that bag at the moment. Maybe next year when I'm being able to travel again, but for the moment I don't take a look at travel bags right now. Thoughts on the cameras on Pixel, OnePlus and iPhone? Amazing. I feel like it's crazy to see how far we have come with cameras inside this small bodies, and you can film stuff. I feel like there at the moment there is no excuse for aspiring creators not to make pictures, videos and stuff like that, because these things are so capable, and yeah, they are all good. It's amazing. It's really amazing, and yeah, better than some cameras actually. What's your favorite water bottle? For the road, I don't know. I don't have any preferred water bottle at the moment. At home, We actually bought a soda stream. I think soda streams are also available in the US or worldwide. So it's basically just a glass bottle where you fill it up with water, put it into this little machine, and then you can basically make sparkling water. Oh, by the way, let me take a quick sip. So that's what I'm using at home. But for the road, I'm not going anywhere at the moment, so I don't have any bottles. I used to use a lot of these isolated bottles because I prefer to have like room temperatured water or a little bit warmer water when I'm out and about. So I used to have those isolated aluminum bottles, but at the moment I don't have any favorites. Um, that's awesome. Hi, Alice. Um, that's awesome. I didn't know that you know that I have a YouTube channel, that you joined my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, when I was 16, I did a high school year in Oklahoma, and my guest mom just joined the live stream. That's amazing. Thank you so much for joining this. I was, yeah, that's a long time ago. Turning 40 next year, and yeah, I was 16 and Oklahoma. That was an amazing time actually. Seeing the other end of the world for a whole year. It was awesome. Um, yeah, not I'm not going to go into too many details there. What's your process for reviewing bags? So I have so many memories now going back in my head of being in Oklahoma. um, wow, that was such a long time ago. Thank you so much for joining this live stream, Alice. That's amazing. So yeah, back to the question, what's your process for reviewing your bags? So what I usually do is I just start packing up the bag with all of the items that I usually have. For that is modular packing is king. Um, I can just take all of those pouches, put those into the new bag, and then I just start using the bag for at least 2 weeks. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, I don't use bags that often. So what I'm doing at the moment is just walk around the house, walk around the garden, or whenever I'm going out with the dogs for a walk, I just, yeah, pick up a bag and just walk around with that and unpack, repack, and stuff like that. And then I try to find as many negatives as possible, and then I write them down on a notepad or in my note app on my phone. And then I start scripting and writing down, yeah, a script that I want to, how I want to lay out the video. But as mentioned in the beginning, I potentially want to try out vlogging style for these reviews in the future, but I haven't really wrapped my head around this so far. But yeah, that's basically my process of how I review bags. What's the next question? Do you mean this? My favorite sling bag, Air Oshman City Sling Quicklook. Yeah, that's the sling bag that I mentioned in the question before. That's an awesome bag. That's a limited edition collaboration bag that was only available in Japan, but they have released the regular version, which is called City Sling, I believe. It has the same features, but a slightly different interior look, as far as I know. Good morning from Colorado. Good morning back to you. It's 5 p.m. here in Germany. When things return to normal, would you ever be up for a coffee or beer if I made it out to Hamburg? I feel I owe you one or three for all of the help over the years. Definitely. If you ever are in Hamburg, feel free to contact me. And if I have time, we could definitely meet up. Oh, the sun is coming up, so it's really bright. Let me just change the aperture. Yeah, definitely. If you're ever in Hamburg, let me know, and then I will take you out or show you. Let me change the. There we go. Then we go out for a coffee or whiskey. I'm a whiskey drinker, but I haven't been drinking any alcohol in the last few months, so I'm not sure if I would be able to actually manage to drink whiskey at the moment. So probably coffee would be better. Um, I'm just going over these comments and look for questions. Oh, here. Yeah, that's true. A good pair of sneakers are pretty expensive and don't get nearly as technical as a similarly priced backpack. Yeah. So yeah, that's why I'm saying the mainstream hasn't really figured out that a backpack is much more complicated to make, has much more fabrics, zippers, and other things to consider, and therefore is marginally more expensive than a sneaker, and you will use a backpack for a much longer time. So I feel like the pricing of bags is justified, but people in the mainstream haven't gotten into the appreciation of bags yet. Um, So what else? So there are these comments. I'm looking for a new travel bag in the 23 to 25 liter range that also has a side handle. What can you recommend? At the moment, one of my favorite bags is the Black Amber Forge, which can transform in a bigger carry-on backpack. And to me, this, because you can use this as an everyday carry bag as well, and it therefore being a more multi-purpose backpack, I feel like that's the best deal that you can get at the moment for that range. And it has a side handle. However, due to all of the materials, it has a very high empty weight. So an alternative to that bag would be the Heimplanet travel bag, the new one. That one is very cool. I'm not sure what the liter size is, the capacity. What else? The considering side handle. I need to think about that a little bit, but the Forge, definitely one of my favorite bags at the moment. Do you like any tote bags? Depends on how technical they are. I had this Crafted Goods tote bag that was incredible. The issue that I have with tote bags is that depending on how you carry the tote bag, you only have one hand free to carry any other thing. So I prefer backpacks over tote bags. But the Crafted Goods tote bag was also usable as a backpack. Therefore, I like that bag a lot. But if it's just a tote bag, I'm not that big of a fan of its carryability, let's say it that way. Are there any padded camera inserts you especially like? I like carrying a non-camera bag and I'm looking for a good insert. I don't necessarily need quick/side access. Yes. Moment. Moment has released a new backpack. I have uploaded the video, I think 2 weeks ago. There is this camera cube. That one is incredible. It fits the Black Magic Pocket Cinema camera, couple of a lens and stuff like that. Or if you use a small mirrorless camera, then you can actually fit even more. That cube, incredible, highly recommended if you're looking just for a cube. It's fairly boxy, but still great camera cube. Would love to see a vlog from an Indonesia trip, whenever that may be. Yeah, would love to do a vlog then as well. um, Next question. School life is easier now because most books are digital. I always carry my laptop, tablet with accessories. That's so awesome. I would have loved if back then I only had to carry a tablet. That would have been awesome. But then again, I would probably just play during school. I wasn't good in school. I wasn't as good at all. Actually, the time when I was in Oklahoma, there was better in school because it was such a new surroundings, new topics. Therefore, it did interest me a little bit more. But here in Germany, I wasn't good in school. I had such a short attention span, and I would imagine if I would sit there with my iPad or a tablet or a computer, I would potentially look a movie or something like that. So it's a good thing that we had books back then. Sling bags are becoming more popular. Do you have a favorite or even use one? Yeah, I use the Chrome notch. You can see that in my very old sling bag roundup video on my channel. When reviewing for Carryology, was asked to change. Oh, when reviewing for Carryology, I was asked to change my rating. Then the company told their fans on social media to attack my channel, removed my videos, and stopped working for Carryology. Damn, I didn't know that. That sounds terrible. Maybe you can maybe write me an email and tell me what happened there. Didn't know that. Would love to hear what happened, what exactly happened there. That sucks. Yeah, yes. Write me an email. I think you already wrote me once, but write me at youtube@ismono.com. I would love to hear what exactly happened there. That sucks. Next question. Let's see your knife collection. I don't have that many knives, but I actually have a couple here on my desk. So this is the oldest knife that I have. This is the one my parents gave me shortly before I went to USA for my high school year. Pretty big multi-tool. Back then, MacGyver was really in, and everyone wanted to have this red Swiss Army knife and wanted to be like MacGyver. Then I have James Brand. This is the Countryman, I believe. James Brand Alco. And the Victorinox Super Tinker, which will get a couple of new scales pretty soon. Hi, if not black, which color bag would you go for? Good question. Considering that I ride a motorcycle quite often and visibility is key for safety, I would go with a white or highly reflective backpack. I know it would get dirty pretty quickly, but yeah, I think white backpacks look pretty cool. Or the Evergoods, they once had a bright red backpack. That one was awesome, really cool one. But it was a limited edition, unfortunately. So the last question, how are you liking the Moment Rugged Sling? Awesome. It's a great sling bag. If you only want to carry a camera, then that camera sling bag is awesome and very well made and very well thought out. But it's only for a camera. I wouldn't use it for anything else. Obviously, you can take out all of the dividers and use it for regular items, but it is a padded sling, so it has this bulky, boxy shape to it, which, yeah, for daily use isn't that great, but for a camera, awesome. Highly recommended. So yeah, those were all of the questions for now, and I actually have to go out with the dogs now and yeah, get a little bit of a walk on. So again, thank you so much for watching this live stream, for watching all of my videos. Thank you so much for your patience that my regular upload schedule wasn't that regular. Potentially I will do another live stream and do a little bit of a review during with a live stream, so I don't have to edit that, and it won't take that long until I have another video. But I will try to think of something in the future to keep up the upload schedule as consistent as possible while I'm still working as a freelance editor and try to pay my rent. And yeah, that was all of it for now, and I hope to see you either in the next live stream or in the next videos. And I hope all of you are safe and healthy during these strange, let's call it that way, strange times. Yeah. Thank you so much and have a good night. Where's the stop button in OBS? Oh, there it is.